Yo, what's good? What's good? It is another wonderful episode of SelzSpeaks podcast. We are back at it again, doing the thing. Man, listen, I have a fun episode for you guys because I've been just thinking about some things. You know, I know financially we are in some interesting times. We are definitely, if not in a recession, like right on the verge of a recession. No matter what anybody tries to say, we basically right there. And I know there's a lot of people who have like amazing gifts, amazing abilities, and they don't really know how to put it together. Maybe they've been putting it together and they've kind of reached a plateau. So I kind of just wanted to use this episode for anybody out there who's like trying to figure out, okay, you know, how do I take what I'm doing and do it better? Or how do I take what I'm doing and take it to the next level? And this is without you having to pay $1,000 in some course with some mentor. Like, I got you. I'm about to give you a very simple cheat code, the principles that if you follow them, you know what I mean, I guarantee you that you will find the success that you're looking for, because I've seen it time and time again through other people. I've seen it through myself. You know, I've seen it when I've given it to other people and they used it. So I might just give it to you guys. And it basically works with 3 steps, right? The 3 steps are, or let me say it's 4 steps. You do something, you improve at that something, you showcase it, and then after you do those 3 steps, you evaluate and you repeat the cycle again. And so, okay, what do I mean by that? So let's start with do something. You know, a lot of people, that's the part that kind of trips up everybody. It's the do something part. Like, they don't know what to do. So maybe you have multiple gifts. You know, maybe you sing, maybe you write poetry, maybe you are great literary, you write books, maybe you are into sports, maybe you like to work out, whatever it is. Like, there's a thing that you enjoy doing above all things, right? Like that thing that you do that when you do it, basically time stands still. Okay, you take whatever that thing is and you decide, this is what I'm going to do. Because it really starts with the commitment of what you're going to do. Whether that be like you want to be a doctor, whether it be that you want to, you know, get into real estate, whatever that thing is, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to choose it, right? And again, this is the part that again trips up a lot of people, because sometimes people just can't choose one thing. They want to do everything. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who was like, well, I can do this. And I was like, there's no way you can give yourself 100% of yourself to 3 different things. Now, if you want to give, you know, 33% to one thing, and or to each thing for 3 things or whatever, yeah, sure, it'll be fine. But you really want to get to a place where you're able to give your 100% to one thing, because it allows you to kind of be focused instead of being pulled in every which direction. And it just becomes easier. And it doesn't mean that one thing has one medium. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you want to do music production, okay? And doing music production would require you to be in a studio and making tracks, but you're also working on how to play the piano better. Well, these things are connected, because the better you play piano, the better you'll be able to produce, right? But it's very different if I say I want to get into music production, but I also want to be a professional athlete. These are 2 very different things that a lot of the things that you're developing in one area are not necessarily connected to the one. Because, for example, you know, me working on my jump shot is not helping me directly when it comes to, you know, how I would mix a song or how I would play certain chords. They're not really connected. Whereas, you know, when you think of something like, you know, maybe I'm into film, right? And I like to film people, and I get into photography. These are a little bit more connected, so that the skills that you're learning in one area help the other. So even if you're going to like dabble into a thing or 2, try to make sure they're like as connected as possible. Because if you start doing 2 drastically different things, I want to do salsa dancing and I want to do tennis and I want to write books, like it becomes this thing that's kind of pulling away from the main thing. It doesn't mean that later on in life you can't do all the things you want to do, but you kind of just want to focus on one thing when you start off and allow that one thing to kind of grow and build. And now as you find success with it, the idea is that the success starts to free up your time and give you more time to do other things. So if you get really, really, really good at one thing, it now gives you freedom and more time to do other things, but you have to start with your one thing. So that becomes a thing. Like, do something, start with something, whatever that's going to be. Again, you want to write a book, you want to get into fitness, you want to get into photography, you want to I think I said fitness already. Whatever it is, again, whatever that is, you want to do a YouTube channel on reviewing food, reviewing toys, reviewing furniture, whatever it is, just choose your something. Okay, that sometimes for a lot of people is the hard part, but you want to do that. Like, and if you're sitting here thinking about it, give yourself 2 at most 3 days to make a decision on, okay, what am I gonna do? And you choose it, and then you just do it, right? And so now once you choose your thing and you start to do it, right? And now I use the example of learning how to play piano, right? You choose it, you say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Then you start to improve at it. Now, naturally, the more you do something, you'll naturally get better at it. I'm not saying to you your growth is going to be massive, it's going to be exponential, but the more you do something, the more you will grow at it. Like, that's just natural. You decide, okay, I want to learn how to play piano. You play the piano every single day, even without a teacher. You'll get better at it because you're getting more comfortable. You're getting more used to it. You're getting more used to the sounds. You're getting more used to the touch. You're getting more acclimated. So as you do something consistently, okay, you will naturally get better. Okay, your feel, your understanding is like, as you work out more, lifting weights becomes easier because you're getting stronger. As you write more books, your thoughts get clearer. As you produce more music, you start to understand the programs more, and you're able to find the sounds that you really like. And the more you do something, the more you will naturally improve at it. So improving, the first step is just do it consistently, do it often, do it a lot. That's the first easy part. Do it a lot, right? And so now, once you have gotten into the habit of doing it a lot and you're doing it often, then we have the next aspect of it, which is maybe now finding instruction on it. Finding instruction could be going online, buying a course where someone says, okay, for this $10 package, I will explain to you how to do scales or how to do this or how to do that. And you buy that package, and now it's increasing your knowledge. Now you're learning things that you didn't know before, things that you may not have necessarily found by just learning on your own, or things that you'll learn much faster by learning from someone else. Because you could have very well, tried to figure out how scales work on your own, and not to stay regulated from the example of playing piano, but let's say you wanted to start a shirt company. You could have very easily figured out how to do everything on your own, but you can learn faster if you're learning from someone, right? Like they say, you learn by touching the stove that is hot. Well, if someone who's touched the stove already and tells you, hey, look, I burned my hands by touching the stove, like, don't touch the stove, learn from me. You can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from my experiences. To me, that's a great and much faster way to learn, because you get to avoid some of the mistakes and pitfalls that other people make, but you also get to kind of take advantage of their experience, right? So a lot of times it's in your advantage, okay, to learn from people who have been through the things that you're trying to do, because they can tell you, listen, I spent 5 years going this way, and on my 5th year, I realized I should have never been doing that. I should have been doing this. So now for you who's just starting, I'm going to save you 5 years of your journey and have you go this way instead. And the reality is that no matter what we're doing, we're never going to be able to completely avoid, mistakes and the pitfalls and the challenges, because in essence, that's what builds you. That's what, that's the process of building your greatness. However, you can get to where you're going faster if you have a guide, if you have someone leading you somewhere. It's like GPS. If we didn't have GPS, it would take us much longer to get to the places that we go to, even if we knew the route. A thing that GPS does is it tells you if there's traffic, if there's an accident, if the road that you're trying to go to is blocked. Some things you just don't know because we're not everywhere at once. And so even if you have without a GPS, you're kind of just driving and hoping everything works out for you, but you could very well take the same route and then fly right into traffic. And it's the same concept of when you're thinking about operating in your gift. It's like you can get to certain levels of success with less mistakes and less, less trauma, really, right? If you have the right guide or the right coach that guides you and helps you avoid certain common pitfalls. So an aspect of improving at something, okay, is finding a coach, finding a mentor, finding someone who can, teach you and guide you. And sometimes you can get a direct mentor. Maybe that's a friend, family, or someone you pay for. Or maybe you may not have access to the mentor you want, so you get courses or classes either from them or from other people, right? Another way is to also like go on retreats or conferences. Okay, so let's say you're into styling hair. They constantly have conferences on hair products, people who are going to go and talk about hair, people are going to talk about their trials and tribulations in the hair business, people are going to talk about how they built their shop and do this. Like, go to events that are catered to what you want to do. If I want to grow better at playing piano, I should go to events that promote how to getting better at piano, right? You look at people, for example, who want to do content creation, but they never go to events where they could learn things on how to improve at their content creation. You want to be a photographer, but you've never been to an event that helps you improve as a photographer. You don't go to any small groups or anything, like you don't do any of these things. And so again, it's making your life harder when you're not putting yourself in an environment that's conducive to your growth. So you want to go to events, to conferences, to retreats. Sometimes these are webinars on the internet. Sometimes these are, discords and different groups that you'll find where you join these things and they put you in environments or events that will give you the knowledge, give you the information, give you the experience, give you the products that will help you on your journey. Another big thing is to surround yourself with people who can give you valuable feedback, which is kind of an attachment or an addendum to the going to events and conferences. But the more so surrounding yourself with like-minded people is, now we're being specific, like joining Facebook groups, joining Discord groups, having groups that you meet with weekly. It could be in person, it could be virtually, it could be whatever it is. Where now, okay, you're always kind of talking to these people, dealing with these people, and you guys are sharing each other's personal journeys. So one person says, I was doing such and such, and I had an issue with lighting and I know how to fix it. And that person's like, I had that same issue. This is what I did. And so by being in an environment with like-minded people, it's helping you grow much faster, because certain problems that you may have had, they know the solutions to, and certain problems they may have had, you know the solutions to. Also, too, by being around like-minded people, the opportunity for gigs and growth grows exponentially. Why? Let's say, for example, you have a photography gig that you have and you need another photographer. Well, you are in this group with a whole bunch of people. And so now job opportunities that they wouldn't have, okay, you are able to offer to them because you need someone, and vice versa. Hey, I can't do this. Can someone in the group come and do this? And now you're getting the opportunities, right? So it becomes very important, much easier, okay, when you're surrounding yourself with people who are trying to do the same things as you. And then I think a lot of times we get caught in this mindset that, it's a competition. I can't do this with such and such person because we're in the same field. And it's like, listen, there is enough success. There's enough money. There are enough clientele for everybody, because one person is not for everybody. Okay. You're not for everybody. As great as Michael Jackson is, as great as Beyonce is, as great as all of these major artists and even major sports stars, they're not loved by everyone. So a lot of people think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. A lot of people think Kobe Bryant is the GOAT. Me. A lot of people think that LeBron is the GOAT, right? One person is not for everyone. So whatever it is that you're doing, you will have your clientele. You don't have to be worried about partnering and growing with someone and being worried about them taking from you, because when you have that mentality, that's what we call a scarce mentality, a poverty mentality, right? To believe that there isn't enough out here for everyone. There is more than enough for everyone. There is far more than enough for everyone. But, if you are kind of like this, in this me against the world mentality, it's going to make it much harder. Whereas if you are aligning with people, if you are partnering with people, the right people who have your best interest in heart, and it's like a collaborative mind where everybody's kind of pushing each other to be better, it helps you grow. And so that is another aspect of like a great way to improve. So I'm gonna take it again, learn, get a coach, go to events, get a mentor, surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing that you're doing so that it helps you improve. The next aspect to it is showcasing it. And to me, this is arguably the biggest one. Arguably. Why do I say it's arguably the biggest one? Because I've seen people who are not really doing things at a high level, but their marketing is amazing. And because it's amazing, they're able to find success. And so because they're not really going to events or certain things like that, they're just doing that thing consistently but marketing it so well, they're able to have massive success. I know like if I was to talk in the musical community, I know many amateur musicians who are not proficient or virtuosic, but they showcase their stuff in a very great and a very appealing way that they have tons of followers, they have a strong audience, they have a strong market because their marketing is amazing. And sometimes the problem with people who are good at things is that they don't believe that they need to put just as much effort into marketing and promoting themselves. And that becomes a big problem, because if you have an amazing product, if you have an amazing show, if you have an amazing gift, but nobody knows about it, how will you find the success that you're looking about? People need to know, people need to see you, people need to see good presentation. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting out music out there and the sound is horrible and the bass is off and the vocals are completely under everything and you're an amazing singer, people won't know because of how it is presented. So presentation, marketing, all of these things matter, right? And the more that you maximize your showcasing or your promotion, the better it's going to be. And sometimes that's going to require you to spend $5 here for an ad so that one post that is good and it's great, it might be that $5 might be the difference between it going viral or not. Because a lot of times our friends and family, they love us, they like everything, but like I said, it's like your friends and family are not going to be ones that make you rich. It's going to be strangers. It's going to be people who don't know you who are going to support you the hardest. Because sometimes a lot of people who do know you, they're familiar with you, they're comfortable with you, so they may not see you in this like massive superstar light in which you see yourself. And so you have to be able to reach out to other people, other markets, other venues, other audiences that you are not necessarily directly in touch with. And in this era that we live in of social media, of marketing, of advertisement, now is the greatest time to do it. You have to think. There's a reason why companies spend billions and billions and billions on presentation, on packaging, on the psychology of a buyer, on the music that buyers like to listen to when they're in shopping stores, on what you should put into a commercial. There's a reason why Super Bowl commercials cost so much. Marketing is massive. And so the better that you're marketing, the better that you're advertising, the better that your promotion is, the better it will be for you to find success. And what I've learned and I've observed is you don't even need to necessarily have a top quality product. If you have a top quality marketing, that will take your subpar product over the top. Now, the goal obviously is to be giving as best of a product as you can. But I think sometimes we get so caught up and so paralyzed by making sure that the product is so perfect and there's no deficiencies, no flaws, but we completely neglect the marketing, we completely neglect the promoting, we completely neglect the promotion of it, that it's like, okay, you have this great product that nobody knows about. And so what then? It's like, you have gold hidden in the cabinet in the basement of your house and no one knows, but it's there. And it's like, nah, you know what I mean? If you are a gem, if you are a diamond, if you are a ruby, you have to be showcased. And the last part of this, which is kind of what puts it together, is you evaluate. Okay, you do something. Maybe you put a video out there and you got 100 views. Okay, evaluate it. What could I have done better with this? Was my lighting good? Was my audio good? Was the song choice that I chose good? Was what I was wearing, good? Like, what about the video was great? And the beauty of doing something again and again and again, which was the first step, do something, is that you're gonna have a body of work. So you're gonna have 1 video, 2 video, 3 video, 4 video, 5 video, and you're gonna see among those 5 videos there has been different levels of engagement, different reactions. One video may have 100 views, one may have 10,000 views, one may have 3,000 views, one may have 2 views. And so you ask yourself, okay, what is the pattern here? Why did this one do far better than the other ones? Okay, maybe I should do more of that one that was super successful. Maybe if I do more of that, it's whatever. And you try to find a consistency in the good. You see what was working, do more of what was working. And you continue to improve. That's what I mean by evaluate. You evaluate what you've been doing. Evaluate, okay, I went to this conference. Was it good? Did I get something out of it? Did it yield results? Okay, I've been in this group with these people, talking to these people about such and such. Is it yielding results? Is it helping me get better? I have this teacher, this coach. It's been a month. Do I see a change? Do I see an improvement? You evaluate your process. You evaluate what you've been doing. And once you make the evaluation, you do the cycle again. So you do that thing again. You continue to improve at it. You showcase it. You evaluate. Do something. Improve at it. Showcase. Evaluate. Do something. Improve. Showcase. Evaluate. And you keep doing it. And I promise you, if you can stay disciplined and continue to do it, if you can stay consistent and continue to do it, you will reach a great point. And then there's going to be the aspect of working on your business sense, which will be a completely different podcast. But even when by the time that time comes, if you've been doing these 4 steps again and again, you'll be ready for it, because in going to those conferences and being around others and having a teacher, you'll have the information that you need to even grow in the business aspect of what you're doing. And, I was watching the episode and I realized that I missed a very important thing. So, it's definitely important that, you do something, that you improve at it, that you promote it, then you evaluate your process. But for all my believers out there, people who have a relationship with God and believe with God, I think something that makes a big, big difference in how you move and also in how whatever it is that you're doing grows is when you pray about it. When you pray about it and you take it to God and you kind of allow God to kind of show you how to move next. Proverbs 3:5-6, I live by that verse. It's basically saying that, you trust the Lord with all your heart and you lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct thy path. And so I think for anybody who's out there doing something, who's really trying to find success, it makes a massive, massive, massive difference. When you pray about it, you fast about it, you have the right people praying about it, praying for you, asking God to show you, okay, what's the next step? How do I make it better? How do I improve? Who should I link up with? What even should I be doing? When you pray about every one of these aspects, so you're praying, Lord, what should I do? Okay, Lord, how do I improve? Who should I be learning from? Where should I be going? What conferences should I be trying to go to? When you're praying about, okay, how should I promote it? Should I even promote it? I've seen prayer do amazing, amazing things. People put in tons and tons and tons of effort, but prayer, sometimes God gives you that shortcut if your character and who you are is ready to receive what you've been praying for. So if you have been going through the character surgery to become a person who is able to handle what you've been praying for, that's when your success kind of goes a lot faster and you kind of skip a lot of steps that a lot of people weren't able to skip. So I just kind of want to add that part. Prayer makes a very, very big difference, especially if you have a real relationship with God. Pray about it. So do it, improve upon it, promote it, right? Evaluate the whole process. But before all of that, pray on it. So pray before you do it. Pray before you start improving. Pray before you promote. Pray before you evaluate. And continue to pray throughout the whole process. And you'll watch God do an amazing thing with whatever you're putting your hands upon. I just wanted to add that. Love y'all. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, I'm going to remind you, do something, improve at it, showcase it, evaluate your process, and do it again and again. I promise if you guys do that, listen, 6 months to a year, your life will be drastically different, and you wouldn't even you look back like, wow, I wish I did this sooner. So I hope this was a benefit to you guys. I hope this was a blessing to you guys. I love y'all. It's been another episode of SelzSpeaks. Peace.